pronunciation of the Citadel was when that revelation was made of how you pronounce it. My mind never recovered.
Well, the best thing about it is that's how they pronounce it in Game of Thrones. So that was a great
Citadel.
Yeah, they do, brother. You can hear what's that guy's name?
Jon Snow's friend? Yeah, that guy with the face and the two arms.
Come on, you know Jon Snow's friend from the wall. It's kind
Sam?
of got Sam. You can hear him saying it. The Citadel.
Oh, Gary, we got to get to the Citadel.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Representing our Apollos tonight is Joe Marino.
Of course. Pour one out, brother. That was some of the most fun I've had watching football. No. No.
Would you rather do this whole podcast seeing me channel my inner Anthony Lynn and hold this unlit cigar in my mouth the entire time?
Can't.
Or would you rather do the show without?
Well, I'm just going to put a Post-it note over your face. I can just listen to you. We can achieve the same thing we do every time we record, man. But yeah, you look, Orlando Apollos. That was some of the funnest fan moments of football that I've had with Steve Spurrier and him just being like so petty. I loved it
ever.
So
didn't Spurrier have some clap at somebody recently?
Was it Florida State?
It was to somebody, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
So he had called out, he had said whatever AFL stadium, or what is it called? AAF stadium that they played in was louder than Rocky Top. Like, completely. Yeah. But then he did something else recently.
He clapped at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Braden with a very accurate depiction of all of us right now. Yannick rumors disappointed me once again. We've been got again. With the Yannick, and Dave Caldwell came out and said, "Yeah, this is news to me. I don't know where this report came from, but if Yannick's getting traded, somebody better tell me." And I'm also ready to be hurt by Jason Verrett again this year.
Don't do
I'm ready to buy in. I'm ready to buy Jason Verrett hype. His college tape at TCU was so good,
right? But he's got to drink some milk.
Was terrific.
Can't deal with you. All right, you ready?
No.
Yes, you are.
All right, go ahead.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes podcast, presented by Locked On. It's Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs from the Draft Network, and we are your hosts here on this live episode of the show. It's the Friday show in your feed. We're in your feed.
In the feed.
We're live on a Thursday night here doing Would You Rather, Kyle. Oh, brother, let's do this.
I laughed so hard I peed a little.
Yeah. Oh, my. And you got an unlit cigar and some whiskey. I'm drinking water with my fidget spinner, so I pretty much think we're ready to go.
Kyle, Big Doink Krabs. I don't know where the Big Doink. I've seen 2 references to Big Doink so far, so please enlighten me where Big Doink came from. Nick wants to know before we start why no one is considering Detroit for Yannick.
Sure, why not?
Because Detroit is they are the most scheme specific.
Yeah, but they'd love a slasher like that.
Would they? They just picked up Jamie Collins.
I know.
Patricia's not going to say, "Yeah, we're set. We got another former Pat. We're good."
Yeah. All right. Can I give you my first one? I've been.
How many do you have? How many do you have? How many would you rather hypotheticals do you have? For
1, 2, 3. I have 4 that I came up with and 3 that people sent me.
So you have 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to rely on a few hypotheticals from the live audience because I only have 4 for Joe.
Okay. Well, can I give you my? I got to give you my.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go.
We're live.
Oh, all right. You have to accept this right now that the Dolphins will get swept by at least one AFC East rival right now. There's no way around it. It has to happen. Would you rather it be the Jets, Bills, or Patriots?
Patriots.
Because?
I can't have it be you.
And obviously not Gase, right?
Right. So
it can't be me or Gase. So
I'm used to losing to the Patriots, even if we give them a fight like every year. Like I'm used to losing in New England. I'll take New England.
You sometimes beat the Patriots, which is
we
can't
do.
relate. Can't relate.
We have a winning record at home in the Tom Brady era.
Yeah, well, and Tom Brady has the most wins in Buffalo since 1995 or something like that.
That's actually a great segue into my first hypothetical of the day, Joe.
Okay.
You get to be an NFL quarterback, and you get to play out their career. Would you rather have Trent Dilfer's career as a starting quarterback, 113 starts, 58 and 55 career record, epitome of average, 113 to 129 touchdown to interception ratio, and 1 Super Bowl title?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather have Jim Kelly's career? 160 starts at the NFL level, 101 and 59 records, so a 60% win percentage, 237 touchdowns to 175 interceptions, 4 AFC championships, 0 Super Bowl titles.
The appeal for Trent Dilfer is the Super Bowl title. Nothing else about him, right?
You get a championship.
Jim Kelly is revered by the Buffalo Bills, right? Like the organization.
Trent's going to get married with a Super Bowl ring on his finger, though.
Yeah, he is. But you know what? I'll take being like a hero to that community. Nobody, when you think about that Ravens Super Bowl, you think about Peter Boulware and Ray Lewis and Tony Saragusa, Chris McAllister. You know, are you thinking about Trent Dilfer? He was the guy that just didn't lose the game, man. I want to be a Hall of Famer, first of all. So Jim Kelly's getting buried with a Hall of Fame ring. So give me Jim Kelly, and I think pretty handily.
So you would, if it wasn't a Buffalo Bills quarterback and it was like Dan Marino, you still picking being Marino over Trent Dilfer?
Oh yeah. Yeah. First of all, sweet last name, no question about it.
Oh,
but I want to throw the ball like Dan Marino, man. I want to know what that feels like.
Just put it wherever on the field. Just no questions asked. Just
I want to just like get guys together and play football. Like just
pick a guy and let it fly. That's it. How'd you have so much success? Pick a guy and let it fly. He said.
Yeah, I pick Dan, handsome man for sure. You know.
All right, there you go. I was surprised you didn't have more conflict on Super Bowl championship or not.
I mean, I think you had to give me a different Trent Dilfer's so.
But my other candidate was Brad Johnson.
Right, and the same thing.
Brad Johnson had a little bit better career record. He had a better touchdown to interception ratio, and he also had 1 Super Bowl championship.
Brad Johnson's been coached by John Gruden, so that would be interesting to me.
What if it was Troy Aikman or Jim Kelly?
You win you win a lot of Super Bowls. You're a Dallas Cowboys legend. You're not even a good player, and they defend you because you.
And you make the Hall of Fame because you played for Dallas and won Super Bowls.
And then you get to be like the Fox analyst and all that.
No, yeah, just the on the field.
Oh, just on the field?
Yeah, just on the field.
I pick Troy.
You get the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You're still revered as a legend, but even for like a bigger community, right?
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. Here's your next one.
Okay.
Would you rather keep Brian Flores as your head coach?
Yes.
Or trade him right now to the Detroit Lions for a 1st and a 4th round draft pick?
No, I'm keeping Flores. I got multiple ones that next year anyway.
You get the Lions 1st round pick, probably top 10.
Not if I trade Brian Flores for it.
15, maybe?
Yeah, it'd be top half of the 1st round, but we're probably going to have two top half of the first round picks anyway.
But now you get another one.
No.
And okay, all right, here's the caveat, because I thought you might say that. Here's the caveat.
All right.
Same scenario, except for you get to pick the next coach of the Dolphins.
No. It ain't broke. It ain't broke. I'm not fixing it. Brian Flores is a terrific head coach.
He goes 5-11, and you say, you know what? I'm hitching the wagon no matter what.
There were people saying this was the worst roster in NFL history after 3 games.
Listen.
And they went 5-11. They had a winning record over their final 9 games. And it's not just the fact that they won some games. It's how Brian handled everything. That's what made it so impressive. That's what has me so bought in. And I've seen firsthand what a good offensive play caller or a good offensive coordinator who's a bad head coach and can't create relationships with players. I've seen how that story ends. And I'm not interested in doing that again.
The reason I even gave this to you, because it seems really random, right? Like, how do you even come up with that? Matthew Fairburn of The Athletic, wonderful Bills beat reporter. He has a podcast.
He's good. I like his stuff.
He's awesome, right? him and Joe B, they have a podcast. And Matt Fairburn said he would trade Sean McDermott for a first-round pick. So you know what happens, right? I get that question.
Right.
So I had to deal with that.
So now you got to answer his opinion on that.
Couldn't find the right damn coach for 20 years? You're going to throw away your entire infrastructure for a first-round pick? So I had to give that to you because I couldn't even begin to.
And I guarantee you, anybody who says yes, they're going to be like Lincoln Riley, or they're going to pick these college coaches that are really good at the college level. But what makes anybody think Lincoln Riley's going to leave Oklahoma? He hasn't won a natty yet. He's got unfinished business at the college level. He can recruit out the wazoo. They're going to own the Big 12. And
you have to think Dallas and Cleveland were on the table. They had to be, right?
Yes.
So
Jerry
and
would
Dallas
have thrown the money bags at Lincoln.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Fans, people watching, I still need – Nick said I'd trade Patricia for a conditional 7th.
Right. Good take all the way in, Nick.
I have 2 mock drafts for Joe, but Joe has a lot more takes, so I need some would you rathers from you for me to ask Joe. But Joe, my next one for you comes courtesy of our friends over at SpotTrack.
Oh boy.
And I pulled some market values for 2021 free agents to be at the edge rusher position. Okay. And I would like to know, would you rather pay Shaq Barrett $15.7 million annual average salary per season?
I need to know what he does this year. I got to know what he does this year.
No.
I have to do it right now based on
what
I know.
You have to do it right now based off what you know.
Okay.
Or pay Bud Dupree $16.6 million annual average salary per season.
What's behind door number 3?
There is no door number 3. You don't address the edge position, and you desperately need an edge, and you have cap space to spend.
Shaq Barrett.
Why?
I think his season was more translatable, to be honest with you. I think Bud feasted on having TJ Watt on the other side, having a really stout interior, being able to slash gaps. I think he's valuable to that scheme. I don't know how much he can help you in other places. Shaq, the dude won battles, man. He's got go-to pass rush moves.
I have door number 3. I just thought of it.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. Matt Judon, 15 on the dot.
No, you got me scared about Matt Judon after you did film study on him. And I was all the way in on it, man.
Yeah, I was excited about Matt. He had great season.
Yeah, and then you watch the tape, and I'm like, oh, no.
It's 54% of their defensive snaps. Of course he's screaming in off the edge. To be fair to Matt, he's a really good run defender. He might be the best run defender out of this trio. But you'll probably get the least amount of pass rush value unless you're a super blitz-heavy team.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
Fantasy football, okay?
Let me get my stove, yeah.
Fantasy football, would you rather have the 1st, 6th, or 12th pick in the draft?
6th, every time.
Really? What if it was just 1st or 12th?
Probably 12 over 1 because I would like that flex. Any fantasy team is one injury away from having their entire thing go sideways. If you have the first pick and that guy gets hurt and you don't have the next pick again until 24, you're probably boned. But if I pick 12 and 13, I'm not getting an RB1, but I might get a tight end 1. I might get a wide receiver 1 that's like a wide receiver 5 overall.
But then you don't get the pick for a long time after that. Yeah, but
I got the very next pick.
But then I'm like, you make those 2 picks and then it's a long time.
Well, yeah, it's going to turn into that for anybody. It's the same thing with 1. You got to wait. If you're on, I would rather be in the middle of a round than on the tail end of either round. But so I'm very thankful. Yeah, I want that flexibility to as runs happen, I'm always going to pivot.
All right.
And react to the board. Although honestly, the only fantasy league that I do with consistency that's worth money is with all the guys that I went to high school with, and it's an auction draft.
Yeah, I don't. As of right now, Joe Marino is not in any fantasy football leagues.
Well, we're going to get a league together.
Oh,
A dudes league. We at least have to do a dudes league. We can live stream the draft.
Okay, so we'll talk about it. I do want to let it be known we had a draft network league last year, and I lost to Ben Solak at the championship.
Imagine.
So Jake Arians, what's up, dude? Paige, sorry.
TDM Fantasy Group.
Jamie Eisner, hate to see it.
I had a good group to start, and then they got real cold.
You were hot about it, and then Kyle's like, never talking about the fantasy league anymore.
No, I shut it down.
Ben had Lamar.
Yeah,
crushed me in the championship.
All right, I got a draft for you.
All right,
let's add the Draft Network's mock draft machine to the stream. We are now marginalized on the side, Joe.
Okay.
Would you rather have this draft haul for the Los Angeles Rams?
Okay.
Or whatever the machine gives you.
All right. Okay. So
the Rams only have 4 picks in the 2000.
Shouldn't take long. All right.
Number pick 42.
Okay.
Josh Myers, center, Ohio State.
Good pick.
74.
Okay.
Rayshawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. Slid. He just declared today for the.
I like what's happening here. We need offensive line help. I like it.
I might have done a couple simulations to get Slater on the board at this point so that I could do this because I wanted to put together a really good offensive line draft for the Rams. So they got Josh Myers, Rayshawn Slater, feasibly 2 possible starters, left tackle and center.
Okay.
Linebacker Pete Werner, 169.
Okay.
Nice. And edge Patrick Johnson, Tulane, 201.
I'm absolutely taking this.
It's a good draft.
I'm not sure realistically they could do any better with 4 picks. I can't imagine me being.
That was my goal was to put together as good of a draft as possible.
Yeah.
So do we still run it?
Yeah, I got to know what I left on the table. It shouldn't take long here.
Well, it'll take a little while because we got to get through all 7 rounds.
Well, I'll answer Di Summers. Would I rather have Matt Milano at $12 million a year or Yannick Ngakoue at $18 million a year for the Bills? Give me Matt. To be completely honest with you,
the draft is underway.
Lower cost player.
Quincy Roche at 9 to Miami. Wow.
Ooh.
Josh Myers just went at 19 to Minnesota, so you're not getting Josh Myers.
This is gonna go very well for. Got to switch to my pick so we can see those.
No, I want to see it in real time.
Oh,
Drake Jackson, the center from Kentucky, at 42.
That's rich.
It's a reach.
Rich.
It is confirmed a reach. So I think you already came out in the win. Your wife would like you know that you're wearing her shirt.
Yeah, you know what?
In the comments,
she's
Jabril Cox at 74 for the Rams.
It's a good pick.
We got like 100 picks, so whatever you had in mind, go ahead and drop it on us.
Well, she's wrong about this being her shirt. I literally bought it because I was an Orlando Apollos fan.
But she jumped on then too?
No, she just likes any shirt that I have that's soft and she can sleep in.
That is a common theme in both of our households, I see.
Well, and your wife says not to smoke that cigar in her house, so better not light it up.
I know better. I knew it would bother you more if it was unlit the entire time, and I started using it as a pointer for stuff because that's how you had that commentary after Hard Knocks episode 1 where you were like, man, like I was hoping Anthony was going to light that cigar at some point. He kept driving me nuts. He just had it in his hand the whole time.
Dude, I used to, like when I was younger, I worked in retail and I had these like old men that would always come in the store with an unlit cigar and it was like green. Like, where are they getting these green unlit cigars?
Marquez Stevenson.
Putting them in there. I like Stevenson. That's a good pick,
and Patrick Johnson at 201.
So they still get Patrick Johnson. I like the help for the O-line and I mean,
you still get a starter.
Yeah. Jabril Cox. I think I did the right thing in picking this Rams hole. All right, Kyle, you ready for your next one?
I sure am.
Would you rather become, this is my general manager, so I'm going to give you 2 teams. You can pick which one you want to become the GM of. This is my new staple for you.
Oh, no, this is a Jordan Reed hypothetical. He does this all the time. By the way, real quick, shout out to Jordan for getting Greg Rousseau on the Reed option tomorrow.
Yeah, shout out Jordan
awesome.
Reed. Just if he would make up his mind about playing football and the concussions and
not that Jordan Reed, you putz.
All right. Would you rather become the general manager of the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings?
I feel like the Bears have a easier avenue to hit reset on the quarterback. And I feel like they have more locked in cornerstone pieces on the defensive side of football. I think I'm going to go with Chicago. It's an easier pathway to reset the quarterback position and get my choice at quarterback.
So that's a shot at Kirk in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like you'd rather take the unknown opportunity to get some quarterback than to just roll with Kirk.
And I think the Bears are a team that, like, forget what happens with Mitch and Nick Foles at this point. I think the Bears have enough working for them as a team that they could be a team that jumps up the draft board to strike for a quarterback. You could feasibly say in a lot of ways, if they're able to re-sign Allen Robinson and add a piece on the offensive line after losing Kyle Long, right? I know that we're not crazy about their offensive tackles, but like Cody Whitehair's not bad in the middle. James Daniels there, right? Like they got some pieces in the interior offensive line. They just brought in Cole Kmet. I like their dynamics of their running back room. You get a complimentary wide receiver. You get another piece on the offensive line. You get Eddie Goldman back next year. I think the Bears have all the pieces you need to be a quarterback away. So they are a team that I could make the justification of trading. I'm going to trade my 1 this year, a 3 and a 1 next year to move up and get one of these big 3 quarterbacks if I'm picking in the middle of the first round.
Staying with Nagy.
No comment.
You got to get to know him a little bit.
You're right. You're right.
Have him over for some ribs, cook some of those filet mignons.
Anthony Lynn style with a cigar in my hand the entire time.
But you got to make those filet mignon that you made for us last time, man. I'm still thinking about that steak. I hadn't had that good in a while.
I was really proud I cooked that steak as well as I did.
Is it not normally that good?
I haven't cooked it for people who like it more on the rare side.
Yeah.
Or medium rare. So I'm used to it. I'm used to creating a more well-done steak.
Well,
I'll say that.
I was well pleased, sir.
Oh, thank you. I got one for you.
Is it my turn? Okay. Yep.
It is your turn. It's from Greenfield 88. Would you rather pay 4 years, $55 million with $20 million in guarantees to either Dalvin Cook or Joe Mixon?
I like Joe Mixon.
That is the correct answer here.
I think it comes. I mean, I don't know, maybe similar talent level, but Joe doesn't have the injury problems, does he?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I mean, he's played 14, and 16 games. Dalvin just feels like might be a little more injury prone, so I want the healthy back. And I don't want to pay either one of them that money. So that's the real answer.
Joe is very quickly getting on the running backs don't matter train.
Just don't pay them. They matter. It's good to have a good running back. Just don't pay for it. Draft every 3 years. You draft somebody in the third.
4 years.
Sure.
What if you did
Devin Singletary and Zach Moss for $3 million a year?
Zach Moss going to take over a starting gig there.
They're never going to have a starting running back.
Matchup specific. Zach Moss might be the guy.
They'll both touch the football between 175 and 210 times.
All I know is Bills fans told me they didn't need a running back, and now all of a sudden Zach Moss is getting hype.
Listen, Kyle, I'm working on helping Bills Mafia with good takes, all right? I'm doing my job.
You said it, not me. Okay.
Every fan base has really wild takes.
Yeah,
Miami Dolphins didn't want receivers. I gave them CeeDee Lamb. They're all pissed off at me. Would you like to have CeeDee Lamb at 18 now?
Yeah, after you lost 4 or 2 of your top 5 wide receivers, and you're looking at really not attractive options with wide receiver 3.
Imagine yelling at me for giving your team CeeDee Lamb.
I can't.
All right. This one comes from Todd.
This is the email take, right?
Yeah. So Kyle is soon to be team girl dad. All right. So this messes with that a little bit.
Wait, where's the button? I got a button floating around here somewhere.
A button? Yeah. I have that. Yeah, I know what button you're talking about.
Like a pin, team girl.
Put that on for your reveal. All right, Kyle, would you rather have your favorite NFL team make the playoffs in 6 of the next 10 years, secure 8 total playoff game wins, win 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years, and you get whatever happens after that. Or make the playoffs in 2 of the next 10 years, secure 2 playoff wins, win 0 Super Bowls in the next 10 years, and in 20 years from now, have your daughter turn out to be a huge fan of your team, secure 6 playoff wins, win a Super Bowl in the years that your daughter is between ages 20 and 29.
Am I alive for those years?
I'm assuming yes. You're making it 29 more years, right?
As long as I'm alive to see the Lombardi Trophy lifted for the Dolphins, I will choose the scenario that results in me and my daughter sharing a favorite team.
You don't have competition for this, right? Like, your wife's not going to, I mean, I've seen her in so many different
No, I do for my father-in-law.
Yeah, but your dad, man. Father-in-law can't win on this.
Yeah, he's trying to push Dallas.
Can't have it.
No.
Well, my wife loves the Carolina Panthers. I'm Bills. My father-in-law is Washington. But he won't. He's been like a season ticket holder for like 40 years, but
he ain't gonna push it.
He won't. No, you know him. That won't be a thing. So I'm taking I'm taking 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years because I don't know what happens. Like, she could still become a Bills fan. We could still get that Super Bowl trophy together.
You could, but if you take option B, you're guaranteed to get the Super Bowl and her root for the same team and share that experience together.
Seems pretty special, doesn't it?
It does. That's why I picked it.
You don't think I get 2 of the next 10 years. She could be like 7, 8, 9.
No, she ain't gonna. Do you remember Bills games when you were 7?
I remember the Bills went to the Super Bowl every year and lost it. That's what I remember.
Okay.
Being 7 years old.
Oh, great take from Alex. Can't have any more Cowboys fans in the world.
Kyle, we need you. we need you in a big way. I'm still taking the first one.
All right. More power to you. I have another mock draft scenario for you.
Okay.
I'm going to add MDM back to the thing. It's for the Denver Broncos.
One of my favorite teams.
Yeah, it's Dre.
I think they are.
Dre Harris is super high on Denver this year, and we had that conversation today. We did their schedule prediction for part of our 2020 team guides as a part of TDM Premium Experience, in which we went very in-depth on the life cycles of all 32 teams in the league. There's going to be a guide that comes out. Keep an eye out for it. That's dropping next week. So lots to look forward to there.
Lots of words were written. I can tell you that. Yeah.
I'm interested in what you think here.
Okay.
Because my scenario involved Denver trading up to pick 8 at the expense of their second-round pick. But they secured quarterback Justin Fields.
Denver.
Well,
this is going to be crazy. Okay.
Yes. So I went totally off the wall on this one, and I saw Fields was starting to slip a little bit, and I said, I got to get in front of the Raiders. We're going to assume Drew Lock is not it.
Then I need a quarterback.
Right. So they moved up from, I think, 13 to 8.
Okay.
And gave up their second-round pick. Here are their picks. Think about this with the wide receivers and the 11 personnel that the Broncos can trot out there. Okay? Mm-hmm. Quarterback Justin Fields at 8.
Okay.
78, Liam Eichenberg, offensive tackle, Notre Dame.
Okay.
109, Roger McCreary, cornerback from Auburn.
Okay.
141, linebacker Ventrell Miller from University of Florida.
Okay.
173, Mustafa Johnson, defensive tackle, Colorado.
Okay.
205, Patty Fisher, linebacker from Northwestern.
Okay.
And 213, cornerback Cameron Bynum from Cal.
So I really don't like this draft outside of getting Fields.
That was the point.
So the caveat here is like,
Drew's not it.
But I get Fields, and nothing is more important than getting the quarterback
with these skill players, which are
and especially because I know the simulator is not going to give me a quarterback. I'm not going to find that answer, so I'm going to punt it. And I have a really good infrastructure. I have a team. I got to take this. I got to take Fields.
So you're jumping on this.
Well, yeah, you said Locke's not it. Like emphatically, we know for sure Locke isn't it. That's the caveat for this.
He does not play well this year.
And I need to find a quarterback. Locke doesn't have a lot of time. You know what I mean? Like he came in with a ton of passes under his belt in college. Like I just don't know that if he doesn't show it relatively quick, he's not a guy that you just keep waiting for. If that makes sense. I get Fields. Fields changes the dynamics. I'm in a division with Mahomes. I've got everything in place. I don't have time to wait. I got to take Fields. I got to take this.
So you're taking this draft?
I got to.
Oh, baby. Joe took the bait. Now let's see what we get. We're going to do the simulator and see what you passed on. You ready?
Well, I'm not getting Fields, so there's that.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably not getting Fields.
And I need
Fields
a quarterback.
Fields is already gone. Fields is gone.
So, all right.
And
I win. No matter what happens, I did the right
thing.
thing.
Sam Cosmi
right
at 14.
Dub for Marino.
Oh, while this is simulating, Jay Spoon just asked, just turkey on Thanksgiving or turkey and ham?
I don't need anything else. Turkey satisfies me.
We've talked about this a million times because we've done like drafting big boards for Thanksgiving food.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Tufeli at 46, defensive tackle. Are you a dark meat or a light meat kind of guy?
I like both.
If you could only have one.
Probably dark meat.
Cornerback Kerry Vincent, 78 for the Broncos.
Good pick. Unless it's deep fried turkey, brother. Like, give me the white meat.
I don't know if I've ever had deep fried turkey before. You guys having it this year? Can I come down?
Yes. If you come, just come.
I can't do that.
You're not coming anywhere.
Justin Ross at 109.
Okay. Yeah.
My wife's expecting on December 5th. So
really?
I'm not coming for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Be honest with you.
Wow. Can't believe you wouldn't chance it.
David wants to know, would you rather have Chris Greer or Brandon Beane? He's trying to get us to fight. Ventrell Miller at 141, same as in the scenario I gave.
I'll give you a hot take. Kyle in his heart knows the answer there is Brandon Beane.
Brandon Beane is further along in his rebuild and has hence had the opportunity to prove. You get Sean Clifford at 170.
Right there's my quarterback. Wow, I want to think
quarterback.
How come every time we do this, there's a player that no matter what we get, like
we get the overlap.
Ventrell Miller. It's like, how randomly did that happen? For sure,
it's just to tease you on like, wow, you could have still had this piece of it,
right?
I will say Brandon Beane has had the opportunity to prove and build his rebuild more extensively, and we've seen success with it. Where there is more of an unknown dynamic with Chris Greer, but I'm fairly happy with what Chris Greer has done to this point since taking control of unquestioned leader of football operations in Miami in January of 2019.
All right, I got another one for you. This one's from the Sports Nut. We got to get into this.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So Sports Nut, he says that would you rather go to a 1 p.m. game at Hard Rock Stadium in early September in Buffalo winter gear, right? Snow jackets and all the works, mittens, gloves.
He's trying to kill us. He's trying to kill, or go to a night game in
snowy Buffalo in January, wearing swim trunks,
here,
flip flops, and the tank top. I have my answer.
I ain't trying to be cold.
Yeah, put me in a Eskimo suit at Hard Rock in September,
and carry me out on a stretcher. Carry me out on a stretcher.
Right.
Can we get some of the things that they got on the sideline where you can hook the tubes into the back of your thing and get the misted air on
I'm
your
assuming
back?
I could just like sit there and just guzzle down like buckets of ice water.
Yeah, there's nothing. I assume there's nothing prohibitive there.
Right. It's just what you have to
preventing
wear.
you from doing that.
Yeah, you got to be outside in the elements. That's got to, that has to be an obvious piece of it. But I mean, snowy Buffalo, I mean, we're talking like 10 below wind chill. Like
in no shirt for 4 hours.
You're done, man.
Screw it, man. I'm dead.
No, I don't want to walk outside in Indianapolis in February. You think I want to sit for 4 hours
when I'm wearing a coat and pants,
right?
And layers.
They're like literally like just feel like I'm gonna die. I can't make it. I'm soft.
That was all I had. Let me scroll through the hypotheticals here. I think I saw this one on Twitter.
Fuego Jets fan.
No, from Big Dogs, 1318. Yeah. Would you rather draft a Hall of Fame center or a Hall of Fame safety if you were building a team? Give me the center.
Really?
The glue that holds your line together.
Safety's going to give you the turnovers, man. If he's a Hall of Fame safety, he's going to take away the football. He's going to prove that spacing on defense.
Listen to me. Listen. What do we say? To win in the NFL, you have to have what? You have to have a quarterback, protect the quarterback, and impact the opposing quarterback.
Okay, the safety, they both achieve those goals.
Right, but mine protects my quarterback.
I can find an average center easier than I can find a Hall of Fame safety.
Or you can have good corners and not worry about it.
I want the safety.
From a positional value, which one do you think is more valuable?
Safety.
I don't know if I agree with you, but I'd be interested in what like some of the new wins above replacement dynamics and stuff like that have to say about that matter. That's an interesting, that's one question. I've had the opportunity to sit in on some of the Dolphins press conferences with my coverage from Dolphins Wire and Locked on Dolphins. And I would love to ask Brian Flores or Chris Greer specifically about the decision-making process that they had this offseason and if that's indicative of, a philosophical approach within the building that coverage is more valuable than pass rush. Because they brought in their defensive ends that they brought in, they're very stout at the line of scrimmage kind of guys, but they're not super dynamic. They're banking on schemed pressures in this defense. But they went out and signed Byron Jones with Xavier Howard on the roster and then drafted Igbo in the first round, Brandon Jones in the third. They got Eric Rowe converted to a safety position. Nick Needham was a hit, and all of a sudden Nick Needham's like running with the third stringers now because they've got so much depth.
So you'd rather have Dermontti Dawson than Ed Reed?
Did I say that?
Hall of Fame center versus Hall of Fame safety.
Who's Dermontti Dawson?
Center for the Pittsburgh Steelers for all those years.
I would rather have Dwight Stevenson,
Kevin Mawai, or Troy Polamalu. Are these hard decisions?
I think that's an easier decision if you just look at the stats, because of course it's easier to recognize the stats of a safety. It's more measurable.
Gil Brandt says the greatest center of all time is, well, this is not loading well. He plays for the Packers.
In the chat for Joe.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know what to tell you. He also
greatest center of all time is Dwight Stevenson.
Okay, I have no credentials for arguing that. Like I'm unprepared to argue the best center of all time. He thinks that Travis Frederick's the 5th best center of all time. That's aggressive.
Really? Wow. I can tell you Dwight Stevenson would have been legendary if the Jets didn't cut him down from behind on an interception return and tear every ligament in his knee and cut his career short.
You know what would be cool is if this article said the players' names instead of just had pictures of them.
Joe, would you rather have Sam Cosmi or Jackson Carman?
That's a great question. They're really different players.
This comes from RLJ Network on Periscope.
Really good question, RLJ Network. Cosmi's the athletic guy, right? Sweet feet. He can move, lateral mobility. Jackson Carman's really, really physical. He can move bodies. I liked him every single game that I watched him play, except for LSU and Clemson, where he's one of those guys that he wants
on the schedule.
Yeah. Well, listen, he wants to lock horns with you quick, right? He wants to invade your space, stun you right where you are. He brings it to you. And so when he went up against Chase Young and Caleb on Chason, he was drawn out of his sets because they were smart enough to hit him with a scissors move or just do something that was going to take advantage of his aggressiveness in pass pro. And he never adjusted and came off of that. I mean, this guy was falling asleep blocking most ACC defensive ends. But when he got against those more nuanced guys, like he really struggled. But I feel like he has redeemable traits, and I feel like I can teach him to be more patient with his pass sets, where I think Cosmi is a guy that has to get stronger and has, he may have more mobility, but I just feel like there's more that
there's more boom and bust with Cosmi.
Correct. I feel like I can get something out of Carman no matter what.
You feel more comfortable with a guy who is going to fulfill the physicality dynamic that's required to play at the NFL level.
Yep, especially when you see guys like Ronnie Stanley might be the best tackle in the league, not like a plus athlete. Orlando Brown's getting it done,
Plenty of examples Mitchell Schwartz might be the best right tackle in football, and he's a terrible athlete.
Correct. So Trent Brown, good player.
Oh, here you go. You got any more? I got
No,
one more for you in the comments for both of us.
I'm good.
David Black, would you rather build a 3-4 base defense or a 4-3 in today's NFL?
4-3.
I think 4-3 is more attractive because it's easier to get organic pressure with your down 4. Whereas if you're looking for organic pressure in base defense in a 4-3, you get one less guy in coverage, right?
Yep.
Nobody's dropping a 3-4 defensive end in buzz coverage.
Yeah, and you don't have to have like nose tackles and thumpers. You know, like, I don't know. Those players bore me.
So you one gap, two gap?
One.
You penetration style or you gap control?
Penetration style. I want to get after people.
So you're Jim Schwartz defense, huh?
Yeah, man. I loved Jim in 2014. I had fun with that. Gilmore and
create chaos. And was Darby there that year? Is that his rookie year?
Gilmore and Darby, yeah.
Yeah.
Crap linebackers and like Preston Brown. Like
the NFL in tackles.
Can't find a job right now. Guy starts his career 4 straight years of 100+ tackles. Can't find work right now because he's hiding gummy bears in his hoodie underneath his practice jersey. Can't keep the weight off. I hear you, brother, but you're not. Some of us aren't NFL middle linebackers. Trying to go up against RPOs and play action and have to play in space.
Is that the most overrated stat?
Tackles.
Yes.
Yeah, you want them to have tackles, but just because you have tackles, it doesn't mean you're a good player.
Anything else for the people? Are we done?
I'll say something about ATH 2088 4-3 or 4-2-5.
4-2-5.
Jordan Reed. We were having a scouting meeting this week. He said 4-2-5 messes you up as a quarterback more than anything. And Panthers are going to bring that, man. It's going to be fun to see.
He said that, or was it 3-3 stack?
He said 4-2-5. No, he said.
I think it was 3-3-5.
You're right. It was 3-3-5.
But 4-2-5 is effectively nickel.
Correct.
And if you run a 3-4, you can still run 4-2-5 by bringing your nose tackle off the field. Now your 3-4 defensive ends are your defensive tackles or your inside rushers, and your 3-4 outside linebackers are now your 2 defensive ends.
I'm saving that last one for next week. That's so good.
Which one? That
would you rather Matt Rule or Kingsbury for the next 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
Let's leave the people. Let's think about that.
Yeah, we're a cliffhanger here on Draft Dudes. Would you
Pun
rather?
intended. Pun intended. Cliffhanger.
Jeez, we're done.
Come on.
Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, signing off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Come back. See us again next week.